So, Blaze Bailey, how's life in the metal music been for you these days? You got a lot of projects
Very
going on.
busy. Very busy, yeah. I just finished yesterday my tour with Wolfsbane. We did a UK tour, a couple of weeks, and it went very, very well. We've got an album out called Wolfsbane Save the World, which has been very well received. And we just get together when we've got a little bit of time. So that's that's been really good. And on my own thing, I'm working on a brand new thing with classical guitar. I've got some of my songs arranged in a classical style, and I've done a new song in this style, and it's sounding really good, and in a bizarre way, very metal, even though there's no distorted electric guitars on it. And so I'm working on that, and this week I'd go off and I do a tour with Paul Diano, singing some of my songs and some of my classic Maiden songs in Eastern Europe. So things are going really well for me at the moment.
Think about touring with Paul Diano. I'm sure that's a big treat for the fans that's going to be seeing that.
Oh, it's funny, man. It's really, really funny. We started in Russia in February, and then once people saw what we were doing and what it was like and heard about it, then we started to get a lot of offers in around the rest of Europe and the rest of the world. So it's really good. Paul's a really funny guy. It's fun to work with him.
And The King of Metal, your solo album, the sound quality is incredible
Yes.
on this. It's very metal, this album, I should say.
Thank you very much. I wanted to do something that was very direct, lyrically and musically, because I knew I would go on tour with the album. So I wanted to be standing on stage saying these positive words and expressing these feelings and emotions. And I made it a lot of the lyrics very simple, and kept the song arrangements quite simple as well, focusing mainly on the emotion.
And for this recording process, how was this done, would you say? Like computer systems, or how do you record now?
I like to record to hard disk. I don't use tape, and I like digital recording. As a singer, using tape in years gone by and analog recording, there's a lot of waiting around, and with digital, it's a lot quicker. So for me, if I'm in that zone with the emotion, able to get the sounds that I want out of my voice, then it's a lot better for me, because digital is a lot quicker. And I don't have to compromise the emotional performance for an in-tune performance. You know, there's always a way to get things to match, so I can have a confident, tuneful, emotional performance, something that is engaging to the listener. And that's what I'm always trying to do. I'm always in front of the mic in the studio. I'm trying to sing to the fans that I know, and I'm imagining them with their headphones, and I'm thinking, I want them to identify. And even if English isn't your first language, then I want you to understand that there's a story being told, and that has some emotional depth to it.
Would you say with this solo album is basically the same way it was recorded for Wolfsbane as well?
That was done in quite a different way, the Wolfsbane album, because Jace Edwards has his own small studio, and we did all of the demos and the album recording. We did everything for Wolfsbane in the same place. So it was done quite differently. With my album, with King of Metal, then I started off, I wrote all the songs with my guitarist, Thomas. We worked at my home and slept there. Then we moved to Italy, to Rizzoni, and we rehearsed with the full band and worked out all our drum parts and did pre-production. Then after that, we went to another part of Italy to record the drums and guitars. Then after that, we went to Steve Harris's studio in Essex, to record a couple of bits of vocals and do the mixing. So it was very much as an international effort where we did a lot of traveling and used a lot of different people.
And for the King of Metal, where does this album title come from in your vision into this?
The King of Metal is the fans, because the music business is changing now. But for years, I've always thought that the fans are the most important component of metal. Without the loyalty and support of metal fans, there would be no bands, no major record companies. When metal was the most popular music in the 80s, then a lot of really good bands got signed up. But since then, as heavy metal has become less fashionable, then record companies have moved on to different kinds of music. And I think that the big labels have treated the fans with disdain and disrespect. And for me, my living and being a professional singer is only because I get the support of fans around the world. So they buy my CD, I get that money because I don't have a big record company. I am the record company. Then they come to see my show. That means I sell a ticket. That means I could do that concert and I could probably go back next time. They buy my T-shirt. That's it. I can stay on tour and come back next time. So they are the king. The fans are the king. And I think over many years that's been trivialized, the importance of the fans. And I think they've been treated with contempt as if they will buy anything that's labelled heavy metal. And I just don't agree with that. So what I've done is called it The King of Metal, and the song, the title track on the album, The King of Metal, is about the fans being betrayed by major record companies.
Mm. And I'm sure the Iron Maiden fans of your days are so loyal to you and always will keep being
well,
loyal.
A lot of the fans from the Iron Maiden days hate me. There are some fans that saw Iron Maiden for the first time that like me, and there's some fans that have avoided me since I left Iron Maiden and have started to listen and really like what I'm doing now. But there's still a large percentage of Iron Maiden fans that never wanted me to be in the band and were very glad for Bruce to come back and really hate the music that I did and the performances I did, which is a shame because, I loved being in Iron Maiden. It was my whole life at the time.
But I mean, the fans that did discover you in that day and loved you, I'm sure they're still really proud of you.
Yeah, they've stayed with me and they get my records, and I've made a new EP and I'm mixing it very, very slowly right now. A classical guitar EP with my vocals and my rearranged music on it, and it feels really good. And I've played it to a couple of my hardcore fans that I trust, and they've really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping when that comes out next February that it's something different, but I'm really hoping that my hardcore fans like it, because it means a lot to me, and they've supported me so much in the past.
And going to the King of Metal artwork, now this is another original piece you've done for a cover.
Yeah, I got in touch. Well, an artist from Sweden got in touch with me and said, if you ever need any artwork doing, so I got in touch with him. I described that it's the concept behind the album is and what it's supposed to mean. It's about getting up. It's about being on the floor and getting up and never admitting defeat and always trying again. And I said I want a robot character, and the story of the robot is that it is impossible for him to become a professional singer because he's just a robot. And he used to be human once, but gradually all his body parts and bits and pieces got replaced, and the only human part of him left is his voice. And that is portrayed by the green mist, which is in a couple of the illustrations, and the green life meter, which is on the robot's chest. That's the robot's voice. And the robot loves to sing, and everybody thinks that no one will ever support a robot singer, and that's the story of the artwork. And you see the robot go through the various things. He still has this human heart, these human emotions, and a human voice, but every other part of him is machine. And it's that kind of parallel existence that is leading, this dual existence, that's the story of the artwork.
Let's say concepts in today, like you use it very well. Do you find that there's a big lack of it, in all genres now, that the people don't even understand nothing in creating this type of a concept?
I think it's such a fast world that anything that requires a little more thought and depth is difficult for people to get into. So a lot of people are put off by, they might see a concept album and go, oh, I've got to listen to the whole thing. I can't just enjoy the odd song. So that has a tendency to put people off. That's just the nature of the modern world. People have a much shorter attention span. I'm very, very lucky because my fans and metal fans in general have take a lot more interest in the lyrics and the meaning of the record. So when you do come up with a concept album or a big concept that you're going to link your music to, heavy metal fans are more open to that and connecting the dots and saying, right, so this song goes with that one and this tells that story. So I'm very lucky with that.
Would you say your career is getting more occupied, like busy every day? Is getting incredible?
Well, it is busy, but I just try to do things that I like, things that I enjoy. People send. I do a lot of guest vocals now, as well. Some bands send me songs that they want me to duet with their singer or appear on their album, and I really enjoy singing songs for different bands, and working that way is really good. And I'm getting a lot of people interested in what I'm doing with my classical acoustic work. So that tour starts in January. We have a couple of warm-up dates in December in Holland and Belgium. And we'll see how it goes. I have very, very high hopes of it.
Every country being different, do you find that there's different types of fans when you go to certain countries?
Everybody reacts in a different way. It's great to play everywhere. People have personalities, though. As a nation, people do have personalities, and that's really interesting to me. So the French are really great singers. The Americans go really crazy and scream a lot. The Germans don't react a lot in the first part of the show. They really want to see that you are a good musician before they give you their best. The British are a very tough crowd to play to. The Scottish crowd are just fantastic every time I go there. I love it. So yeah, there are different things, different cultures. I can't say I'd like one more than the other. I like them all because it's so great when you go somewhere like Brazil and people get very involved in it, and you go somewhere like France where people get a lot involved with the singing and things like this. So it's great to be able to go to all these places and experience a different side of people's culture and not just be a tourist, but actually be an artist and work there. And often I get influenced by the things that happen around me.
BlazeBayley.net keeping very healthy, and the website's always being updated.
Yeah, as soon as my dates are confirmed, the most important thing for me is that it's a reference for fans that they can see, right, when is a record coming out? When is a tour date happening? And is it really happening, or is it just a rumour? So that's what I do. As much as I can, I keep that absolutely up to date. That and Facebook, it's official Blaze Bayley is my Facebook, and I try and get on there every day whenever I can and put an update of just what I'm doing. So even if people don't see me on tour, they actually know I'm still alive riding my motorcycle.
Right on, because Facebook is seemingly more popular, it seems, than websites now.
I don't know why that is.
Just the way it is, I guess. But we gotta thank for the Facebook because it's people getting all this stuff in viral format. It seems almost now.
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel as well, and I've got a lot of clips of my acoustic stuff on there. So which is really good if people want to check that out.
Excellent stuff. Well, Blaze, Bayley, pleasure talking to you again, and great to see these new products out, doing it live, and really doing great job. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, and I hope to be in the US in July next year.
All right. Well, you have a good one, man, and talk to you in the future.
Okay. Thank you very much for phoning.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.